Stavros Tousios for M4Markets, and I wanted to close the week with dollar yen and also WTI oil. We looked at dollar yen sometime earlier this week, and I was actually looking at the 5-wave move up here, which usually suggests there is some sort of trend change in the short term. And also we were talking about the potential correction. I think we looked at 38, 15, 61.8. Now we are seeing this correction taking place because we saw also the momentum signal here on the RSI. We went to the 50%. Okay, so maybe this is a finished case and we're going to start moving higher again, which means we need to look at the peak, and after the peak, the channel high, because this channel trend line is very, very, very important, guys. Without breaking that level, we're probably just going to see a retest and then slide back lower again. Or maybe we're going to continue a little bit lower down, and by this continuation, we're going to see probably a divergence signal over here, okay? Because what usually happens is as prices are falling, and if momentum, of course, is it's weaker, it's falling but on a weaker tone, then that creates these hidden bullish divergence signals, which is indicative of a potential continuation of the short-term trend. Now, usually we have to use the 100 Fibonacci. Of course, we don't know where the correction is, but for now it's at 50%. And that brings us up to around 140.35. Obviously, we cannot ignore that 140 is a huge resistance level. So always pay attention to the round numbers as well. But the typical case is that this wave, okay, it's equal to the second wave. Okay. Now, if it extends like to 1618, then most probably is going to be an extended move and potentially is going to give us a much deeper retracement or potentially even a reversal. What else you can do is measure the Fibonacci, okay, from the top to the bottom to see where potentially there are some clusters. Look at 142.70, 143.20, there is a cluster. At 140.50 or so, 35, there is another cluster, okay, and this is how we identify these levels. Now, it's not important we get the divergence, but I would prefer to see a divergence before entering the market personally, because the divergences are really supporting, a potential move into a certain direction of the market. So that's on dollar yen. And oil, I like where it's heading because we are seeing 1 and 2 divergences here. You see that? This is a good indication. This also, if you look at it with a different perspective, it also suggests that there is some sort of wedge building here forming, okay? I'm not particularly keen, though, to consider this as a potential reversal as of now, because the 2 last legs of this potential wedge are very disproportionate in length and price, versus the preceding ones. So there is overlap over here, of course, and we cannot really ignore that sort of contracting price action, which means that we could indeed go higher, okay, but maybe it's going to be a short term, okay? So maybe what I would be actually ideally looking for forming is something like this, okay? So that would be that pretty much, and from there looking for potential moves to the upside. Now we do get this double divergence. This is very short term, and that is what suggests, or what actually tells me that maybe we're going to go up to around 75 or so before sliding again. Okay, and the other thing that we have to pay attention to is that we are at 72, which is very close to 70, and 70 is psychological level, and certainly there are more bids waiting there. Okay, so at 71.38 as the low currently, we have to pay attention to the 23 and the 38. As long as we are below 38, this is more likely to go and do one more low. But once we break 38, then the biases are going to change a little bit more to the upside, with potentially this either doing a deeper move as a retracement and then going lower down, or we might see a reversal in the medium term heading back to 83, perhaps even to the swing low around the 85. So that's going to be for this week. I hope you have enjoyed these videos. Take care, and we'll speak again on Monday.